Hello and hope you are happy. Today in this video we want to talk about what the people of the world and foreign tourists think about Iran and what Americans and Europeans think about traveling to Iran. What percentage of people in the world know Iran and foreign comments about Iran. Stay with us. How people think about Iran. It is a question that is in the minds of not only the people of Iran but also the people of the world who want to travel to our land. What was often thought to be Iran is a populous, desert, and somewhat dangerous country. But today, with the expansion of cyberspace and the pages through which many Iranians are trying to show Iran to the world, it has become a success so far. And now we can make interesting descriptions, especially from the language of tourists who have come to Iran and heard. Descriptions such as the most hospitable people, rich history, great architecture, the most unique deserts, green mountains and islands, and quiet places. But certainly not all of the above are the views and opinions of the world. And in this interesting video, we want the opinion of the people of the world about Iran. Let's see. So stay with us. Subscribe our YouTube channel to watch the rest of this video and more. At the beginning of this video, we want to take a look at the views of foreigners about Iran who have not traveled to our country yet. In this case, we refer to Agencia Anadola, one of the Spanish-language tourism sites, and asked this question to a foreign couple who had traveled to Iran, and we entered their answers and arguments from each in this section. Iranians hate Westerners. When you travel to Iran, you may think to yourself that you may not see interesting behavior from them. But Iranians are the most hospitable people in the world, that the people of this country are trying to make the best trip for you. The next point is Iran is not safe. Iran has more security for tourists than many countries, including South America, but the thing is, when you walk down the street, you will inevitably receive invitations from people, whether it is for tea, to share a dinner, or even to spend the night at their house. One of the interesting questions that most of us Iranians have in our minds is, what is the first thing that comes to mind when a foreigner hears the name of my country? For example, when you hear the name of South Korea, you may think of Samsung, or for example, Germany with Benz, Brazil with football, and France with Eiffel Tower and travel, and Spain with Real Madrid and Barcelona come to mind. But what percentage of people in the world know Iran, and what word Iran has in their minds can be an interesting topic. For example, as a personal experience, when we met a German, when he heard the name of Iran, the first thing he said was the name of Ali Dai, a former Bayern Munich player. Or when we told the name of Iran to a French citizen, his first mentality towards the country was the famous Iranian director Asghar Farhadi. So what is the name of the Iran in the world? In the first step depends on the planning of managers in the long run. What a beautiful name for Iran in the world today should be associated in the minds of people around the world. The opinion of the Americans about Iran can also be interesting in its own way, given that relations between Iran and the United States have been a challenge since the revolution. With these interpretations, the people of this country can travel to Iran more difficult. 91 people in the world evaluated the opinion of Iran, and the Americans who participated in this poll voted only 15% in favor. Of course, with the passage of time and the development of cyberspace and media, these ideas can undergo positive changes, as if this happened to some extent so far. In the same poll, the people of Russia, Turkey, and Greece had the most optimism about Iran with 36%, 30%, and 28%. Respectively, and the people of Italy, France, and Germany had the least positive votes. Recently, a European tourist named Veronica, who came to Iran from the Czech Republic, said some interesting things. She, who did not have an interesting view of Iran at the beginning, said, "After talking to Iranians and know they treat foreigners, I decided to travel to this country. During this trip, I was able to achieve interesting results that are completely different from before I arrived in Iran. The results I reached are the following, and I suggest you choose this country as your travel destination."